protection. 3 smokes available, flashbangs as well. And we'll get straight into it. It's going to be towards A for now. All 5 players at the top and middle. KNG and Lucas playing very passively on the A-bomb side. After taking a nade to the face, KNG maybe just falling back and playing with his teammates more instead of being by himself and vulnerable.
Yeah, he's not going to do that twice. Tapson will clear corner systematically with Gobby and Kiev. Tapson not playing the lurk this time. To start off the round, it's Legia. That was over toward the B tunnels, but even then, they back off. They want to go as a unit. They want to make the pistols work together.
They've got long A control now, MAP, and they could go for an execution if they want it. They have the smokes there. 3 of those available. We can smoke towards the connector by the APC in front of the bomb site as well if required, just to give you a safe route. But they want to explore. Now they've left the bomb over towards long A. It's going to be Kiev and Gobby waiting in that position. They could go for the A split here. Nex and Tapson presumably aiming towards drop down, trying to open things up. Tapson, he might only have a P250, but he is absolutely wild with his weapon. He gets so many frags with the P250, so don't let that thing is going to limit him. As we get into the 40-second mark, Tapson now joined by Legia and Nex. Going to try and possibly flashbang into this one and then go through the connector and try and meet up with Gobby and Kiev at the A-bomb side.
Single smoke out at the door A side of connector. They'll go down immediately to the right. Anyone behind the smoke? It's in the line of fire, but they give it up. Drop actually is open quite easily. They're well inside of the site. Watch below the ledge because that's where Tapson gets found from KNG. Seal, I should say, was the one down there who did the early damage. Good shot, Kiev. E-reload comes in, no time. KNG's down as well. So they take the site, but they have to pick up the bomb in time, but Legia holds off bolts. Simple and straightforward. Forget all execution. Bomb goes down with 4 seconds left, and there's only 1 gun left in it. It's Lucas. Oh, a little bit quick to judge. I actually thought he heard something behind him. It was above him where they were trying to boost. But 3 versus 1, everyone has picked up an SMG, 3 UMPs, and Kiev has armor to go along with his. Even though he's the one stuck up toward the site. Shots out, and Lucas gets baited back in. Kiev finds the kill, and we go 1-1.
Yeah, that's unbelievably sharp from Big. Looking very good there, I have to say. Getting that slow map control, as we described in the pregame. Pushing the CTs back, taking that vision away. And then for some reason, the big blunder there is Immortals have left drop down completely open and connector. No presence there whatsoever. They had no idea that split's coming in. Sure, KNG gets the first kill on Tapson. You think that's it, but Kiev, he's got too close to the bomb site. Finds the kills at a P250, and Legia, he's stepping up as well. 2 P250 frags. That second one especially, beautiful work. And it will be tied up 1-1. Of course, the force buy in response presumably comes in. We have another pause here, MAP. Hopefully it's tactical. We'll find out momentarily. But they tie it up. Immortals almost certainly going to buy into this one with Deagle's P250s himself. Maybe a scout if Henry's feeling a little bit saucy, you never know.
Well, this time I will say, if it is technical, it looks to be on the Immortals side. No one is behind the computers that were unplugged and replaced on the big side. Looking at the booths from my perspective. I think it's Lucas as well that may have the issue. I can never tell. I said I was going to study that the other day. I still haven't.
The nose ring, dude, that's what it's about.
I can definitely not see that from 50 meters away. I'm sorry.
Bring the binoculars next time. We can work it out.
It's a good point.
If you want to be committed to this job, Matthew, you've got to at least make that sort of commitment.
Sorry, Henry.
It's okay. Yeah, this feels like it's a technical one. So, nothing being purchased as of yet. USPs across the board for Immortals. In terms of Big, after winning that very successful second round force buy, that's quite common if you don't get the bomb down in the pistol, which he did not. They bring that out, and you have to Deagle from Kiev. He's a player that's been getting better and better, it seems, as well. Like, we've been watching him develop, not only as an AWP player, he seems proficient with the pistols and the rifles as well. He's catching my attention. I wasn't that excited when I saw he first joined his team. Obviously, he used to play for Attacks, and now he's looking like a really strong AWP generally. Like, he went toe-to-toe with Fallen the other day, Matt, and they won the game.
Absolutely true. He definitely had an incredible performance with Attacks, getting them into the E-League Season 2. But it's not been something I've noticed as much since he's been on the big lineup until this event. This is when he's finally gotten to the level that, okay, maybe he always had in him, but wasn't able to find, he wasn't consistent with it. We wait to get underway again.
Well, the buy's starting to come in for the CT side at least. That suggests they're getting ready. It is an Immortals issue. They're buying, and there is chatting going on, I have to say, but...
Oh, it's chatting to the admin from what I can see.
That's right, yeah, I couldn't see it. There we go. So they're working things out.
And the headsets are back on, so we should be ready to roll. Buys coming in for the Immortals side, having just lost the second round after winning pistol. There won't be as much to go with, but they are going to force into it naturally, try and break the terrorists again right away. We can start talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there it is. The scout just come out for Henny. Here we go. The buyers do start to come in. CZs, Deagles, and a UMP.
So I found out why we had a delay.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say. I felt bad for him. I felt bad.
I'm going to go there as well. Listen, it happens to the best of us.
Does it?
Not really. Lucas had a sound issue. The issue was because he doesn't know the difference between right and left in his earbuds and had to switch them.
Yeah,
So apologies on Lucas's behalf, but someone sorted it out. They told him, put your hands up, and the one that makes the L, that's left.
Okay, well, there you go. The default by Duds come in. Here it is. Scout for Henny. I think he's been dropped the scout by Lucas. He's got armor as well. He's the team sniper. KMG can certainly help with that responsibility as well. But it's be big. We know they're a tactical team. They won't want to give anything away. Very disciplined, generally. You can see Tabson boosting up, taking every single angle here, trying to see whether he can find out that first pick. That's usually the first objective here. Make it a 5-on-4. Work out the stack, what kind of weaponry they've got. Use every gun idea possible. This is a quarterfinal of a major. You don't want to get taken down by CZ just because you didn't Molotov a specific position. Now, slowly but surely they'll make their way in. Flashbangs coming through as well. HGs towards the left-hand side. Once they establish drop-down control, they can go towards a platform and see whether they can get that further control of the map.
Wait for it. We know that they'll play a slower style.
Yeah.
Smokes are at the ready. Steel's already tagged, backed off of the E-box position.
That's clever from Tabson, jumping like that. Suggests he's already gone down. He's trying to bait out one of the players on the CT side.
Well, we know you can do that toward the corner at long. It's a very similar sound. So He is going to get challenged. Oh, just barely gets the gun back as Steel emerges from the smoke.
Yeah.
Tabson already to the top. Good shot. Lucas is the one he finds. So even though they start over toward B early on, it's back to A. Good call from Goffy, and Tabson starts to roll.
Yeah.
It's number 2 in the round.
It's very good, isn't it? Like we said, get that 5-on-4, show that presence towards B, didn't even commit towards drop down, just making the noise, trying to pull the rotations over Legia, waits for a person to push through the smoke, finds that kill, but Bolts is fighting back somewhat, takes down Nex. Can't find it, the rifle or the SMG just yet. He'll be trying to hunt for further fracks. I don't think he can do anything about this. Tabson gets the next kill, and there it is. Almost a clean sweep. Nex did drop, but Big now take the lead. They managed to negate the force fight there of Immortals. Now hopefully, Map, the headphones are working correctly. We've got the wireless mice plugged in, set up, and now we can really sink our teeth into this. What should be epic quarterfinal, I think, especially the likes of Tabson and Bolt start turning up.
Yes, all the issues fixed. So they have to sit back on the CT side this time, obviously not winning on the force. They'll have to relax for one more to get guns out. It'll be a 3rd round loss bonus. So I imagine Big will play accordingly, knowing they'll be up against pistols. We'll have a, if they go by anything we've seen, a relatively slow start to the round, ascertain information, and then work as a unit toward a site. They've already got good damage on a Lucas. In fact, he's left with just 8.
You can afford to be a lot looser on these sort of rounds. You know you've already had a force fight in the previous. It has to be a full eco for the CT. So you can just group up as a 5-man unit and overwhelm them with firepower. So that's what Keith's trying to do right now on the back 10. It's fine if he goes down. What's he up to? Oh my
he's
goodness!
got it! The big man's got moves. He showed some wiggle at the end of the last round with some strafe mechanics. Gets inside of danger, and it makes it count as well. Remember, not only is he on the SMG, the kill comes with a knife. So he gets a massive reward, and he is the AWP player, so that will have benefits down the line.
Yeah, $1,500 for one of those knife kills. It's certainly worth it. It's not just showboating. It's financially viable for him to try and go for that. And does the damage initially. Well, I think it was just 1 slash with the knife as well to finish him off. Great stuff. Very exciting. 5-on-2 is going to be Henny and Bolts trying to hold on to the USP. I guess looking for exit frags is more of the goal at this stage, as they will hold up towards the B site, Henny, and towards that drop-down area. Tabson might find some trouble here, but he's looking like he's got some crisp aim going on as he managed to find Bolts there as well. Henny waits in the connector. He might just survive this, considering they've all ran past him. And he'll have to search for a frag here if he can. Even if he gets it, it's very unlikely he saves the weapon. But Immortals will have money going to the next round.
Ooh. Headshot from afar onto Tabson. Puts him on 13. And he gets a gun down, but all 5 stay up, and they will collect as Nex gets another USP, or excuse me, SMG kill on the MAC-10.
Yeah, every kill, especially at that stage of the game, is so huge in CSGO. $600, and there's the replay of the knife. Keeve, what was he down to? 30 HP at that point as well?
It was 30 HP, but I was trying to point out as well as money, he does go on to the AWP. He had 9350 at the start of this round after that knife.
That's great. AWP and AK comes up for next, and 3 UMPs as well to join them. So I guess you can call this a little bit of a bonus rank. So they've got SMGs, and they're going to be upgrading to that Keeve AWP you just referenced as well. No kits for Immortals. Now that's actually a huge deal here, especially against an execution-based team like Big. If they get that bomb down with a wall of smokes, you're going to really struggle to retake the bomb site. They've obviously got no AWP themselves as well. They are struggling after those 4 spies in the early sectors of this game. 5 and 4s, and now only 2 smokes as well. A few flashbangs work with no incendiaries. They're getting bled out very early on in this round.
Smoke dropped, makes it long. Absent inside of the drop. Clever tactics to disguise it this time. He just goes in cleanly. Take over E-Box as well. Smokes down to the site. Wall of smokes at that. Bolts and Steel are on the inside of them, which means they can't see from Rock. The Tapson has made it through. Henny's in a good spot though with the M4. Tries to turn back and find next as well. Steel. It's Goffy as he emerges. Small gap as well. And it's Lucas to rotate in and find the last remaining player, Tapson, who is sitting in the open the whole time.
Well, they managed to hold off the execution there from Big. We did say a lot of those are going to be coming in at that point. The AWP didn't really do too much. They go for the execution, but Immortals look quite comfortable, I have to say. The lack of utility, just had to hold their breath and try and take the challenges. A few kills with the smokes as well, that's certainly welcomed. And as we get into round number 6, Immortals now managed to get the kits out and all for themselves, incendiaries. Now they can start to build their own bank balance. That was huge. If they managed to win that round Big, they set themselves up for a very successful half row Cobblestone, but Immortals keep their heads above water for now. Or Henny, of course, likes to be aggressive on the platform. We'll see if that comes out at all. He's going to be Molotov'd off, has to head towards the steps.
Check for next in the smoke. Not as aggressive from Immortals as I might have expected going into the first gun round. They have, ever since the pistol when the 2 nades landed at long corner, stopped really trying to push in that position.
It's a difficult map generally to go for those first picks. You need to get warmed up and kind of establish your financial situation, and then you can start taking a few more risks. You'll see Henny push up a platform at this point, but look at Godby and co. going towards long and Tapson, their strongest frag up. He's towards the end of long A.
Decent setup though. KNG can watch lower mid. If they find him first, if Nex is able to spot him and he has to drop backwards though, he'll be exposed to the corner because Lucas is flashed off and Steel yet to have an angle. Lucas wins it. So far, KNG has not had to move, which means he's perfectly positioned to take down. Nex drops in, knows they're still at wall, follows that as well. As Keeve hits the deck, the bomb stays down. It's Legia. Not anymore, against 4. At least he was for a moment, 3-3.
Yeah, the money being whittled down now for the Big side. That's 2 really clean rounds from Malta, I have to say, only dropping 1 frag there. And there's going to be 3-3, definitely tie things up. And they can start now, maybe flirting with the idea, pushing a little bit more and trying to get the opening picks and allowing Henny to have some of his characteristic dynamic plays. We'll see whether that comes in. But the force buy from Big here. We have seen a few executions so far, shut down in the previous, but that nice boost. It's a boost we don't see that much these days, but thrown in about once a half, it can be very beneficial. The Big one anticipating now. Tapson not really showing us that amazing aim just yet. He had an opportunity to find a kill at ABC, but didn't work out for him. This could be a faster play towards B. Legia, he's looking keen to get in there. Drops the smoke, flashbang as well. Doesn't push any further.
Didn't push any further, and thankfully so. That nade would have done even more damage if he was a step closer. So utility starts to be well deployed from Immortals. They're getting the advantage, it seems, early in the rounds now.
Yeah.
Or at least controlling what was originally a lot of aggression from Big. The 2 Tech 9s, they can afford to be quick, but as always, Tapson's the one that leads his way down into the dropper. Nade bounced. Steel's backed off. Very minor damage, and he's able to control the situation with a good kill. Brings Lucas back in through the window. Goffy goes down.
They have pulled the rotations over towards B, and it's going to be the A side that Big will be finishing up at. 1 minute remaining as well. Keith trying to get this kill at the bed position. Doesn't happen for him. Goes down to 30 points of health. The bomb crosses towards the site. Legia with the backstab as well. That's the huge play here. If he can find a kill in connector and keep them pulled apart, maybe Big have a chance to win this one.
Lucas may spot him, however. As bombs down, Steel sees the shoulder of Keeve. He's taken out immediately. Oh, he didn't see him at all. Legia, he knows that they've already rotated over off that kill. He's got the back exposed through the door. Thankfully, he just barely gets any, but that brings the attention of Lucas back, and low HP, it just takes a single bullet. Clean defuse, 4-3 for Immortals. They take back the lead after winning and then losing after the pistol.
Yeah, great round by Steel. 3 frags in total. Lucas chimes in with 2, so the 2-man unit manages to shut down Big once again. That was the force buy, but they're getting deep into the loss bonus now with the bomb down as well. Could still buy into this round. Looks like a more conservative approach from what I can see so far. Tech 9s, yes, indeed, and a UMP for Legia. Just trying to keep their money about the 2K mark. They'll have $2,900 going into the next one. If they do indeed lose this, they get even more. They get the bomb plant, which is very lucky with a team like Big. But Immortals now have the lead map. It's 4-3, and the double AWP set up for Immortals coming out. We know this is powerful. Henny and KNG, both very, very good AWPers, and we'll see if they can step up here. One of them positioned towards top of middle, and got B. He's not messing around, is he? Just getting straight down long A. Knowing this could be a possibility, he's going to be committing all in.
Good shot, Tech 9. The damage was all there. KNG goes to 12, but he recovers. Recovers as Lucas finds a kill. HP, what about KNG gets found? Good control. Up close and a clean sweep. Immortals keep everyone alive and get their 5th round. Upgrade a few weapons. Pistols mostly.
Yeah.
Double AWP in play.
Looking quite promising here for Immortals with 4 rounds in a row. After losing to the second round forced by Big, they've found their footing here on Cobblestone. Money's starting to swell, and Henny with decent spawns as well. As you said, once they get comfortable, they can start taking more chances at that point. They can go towards bottom and middle. They can try and shut down those first picks. With Keeve with the AWP as well. Finally, we have some decent cash for Big. 4 AK-47s, full array of utility as well. The smokes and the Molotovs. Both teams fully equipped. We'll see who comes out on top here as Keeve wants to challenge with that B side. Drops the smoke, and we're pushing through this as well. It's missed thrown, so needs to be very careful here.
Yeah, that's a very small detail that means a lot.
Yeah, now he can't get to the box and actually have a safe position.
Can of Flames deployed both sides. Bolts, good nade, that's healthy. Very healthy.
Wow.
Keeve and Legia get nailed by it.
Yeah. I'll send them packing for now. Legia down to 35 HP, but once again, focusing on the drop-down run. Thompson leading the way as ever, trying to find the first pick. They have been damaged up, though.
Was quick to get out from drop this time, Tapson. Has God be with him. They've done this multiple times together. Last time they were shut down by Steel at the front, and Lucas jumping through. Steel this time is the one that's at the window. Players at long A, by the way, are quite removed from this. All the way out to the corner, Lucas and KNG. They'll start to rotate now with a flank from Lucas, but they've got to go in quick. They haven't spotted Bolts, and they don't spot him until after he takes down next Legia. Good response, however, puts them inside of the site. Henny's yet to be revealed at KFC, but Molotov will force him out, not only out, but into the hands of Keeve. Bomb is down, though, at a good timing. Lucas gets hot on their heels immediately through B tunnels and Legia. He's got to fight. He can't go for the bomb. He's got to get a kill, at least one kill to get toward it. That one certainly helps.
Here we go then, Legia 1v1 situation against the AWP as well, but HP isn't a factor anymore. KNG can watch the cross to the side with 10 seconds remaining. We have a chance here, but he starts encroaching on his position. Bomb should be planted here.
He'll get it down, he'll get it all the way down, but the push coming through KNG stays close. Brings back out the AWP as well, even though Legia is only on 35, but he gets the angle. And the Brazilians get yet another round. They've silenced Big for now 5 in a row.
They absolutely have. Legia, very valiant attempt, I have to say, in the B-bomb side. Didn't expect him to hit that shot on the upper platform whatsoever. Nails it. Brings it down to the 1v1. I gave him the advantage as well, considering he's up against that close range AWP. I thought he had that one tied up. Like we said, the HP wasn't a factor at that point, but KNG, very patient, holds the angle, takes him down. 5 rounds in a row for Immortals. That does mean Big can keep buying into this one. You get $3,400 per player, $800 extra with the bomb going down as well. So buy is available, and I can see there's enough for an AWP, but just about. It's 5K on Legia after getting those few frags. I don't think they bring out the AWP this time. They take a pause. This is tactical, of course, just to work out with the players. Why are we not closing out these rounds? We're finding the frags, getting the clutch situations almost in our favor. That was a 2v1 short, but the 1v1, I thought they might have to finish that one off. The 5 rounds in a row. Immortals looking very sharp here. Haven't really given away much in terms of gun rounds. Double AWP setup still rolling strong. We'll have a look at the scoreboards while we're here as well. Big performance for Immortals. Steel, 11 kills, 4 deaths. Same story for Lucas as well. KNG not far behind. Henny, once again, I called it out, Matt. He's had an up and down tournament, I would say, 1 for 7. But the rounds they're winning, not such a huge deal. But he is struggling towards that B-bomb side.
KNG on the first op goes low at mid to try and fire through the smoke. It means, though, that they've got 3 on A, and not a lot of presence at B, where in which Big is hoping to occupy.
Yeah, this play is what Henny's known for. Getting aggressive at the start, trying to find the first picks. He's at long A. It's a really scary angle to try and face on the CT side, but he doesn't get too much trouble. He will be pushing out, though. Going to be investigating towards top and middle. No one there. This will be another B side of the attack from the big side. The bomb's down in the B halls. Henny's on the other side of the map as well. This could be troublesome for them. Only Bolt's really defending towards that B side. He's there with Steel, but he's in the connector. Surely this is a round where Big have the advantage. If they execute now, they've got a very good chance of taking this round.
Execute or go slow. They're back inside a drop. Same 2. Usual suspects. Bolts toward the Hobbit hole. Abson's going to heal. Here's Steel running back into the site. Flashed over, he'll go up the lane, but has to turn his back around. He has already found the kill. He gets Bolts. He's perfectly positioned to catch off the player that was waiting at the Hobbit hole, and Gobby follows up as Lucas is hot on the flank, though bomb not yet planted. If he times this, he could easily take down the planter. He's got to be careful with his aim, and he's followed it up. Resets it and goes back for next. Gobby and Legier are so low on HP as well.
Absolute blunder there from Big, not watching their angles at all. You've got 5 players alive. Why is no one watching the platform? And Eddie, he finds another kill as well. Takes 2! This is falling apart for Big. He's up to Gobby on 15 HP. The bomb has not been planted. Surely he can't do it. And it's Henny who steps up just when they need him. 3 kills in the round. And 6 in a row for Immortals. Big are starting to crumble. Another pause required, I would say. That's terrific. That should not be happening, man. Why is no one watching the platform?
And Next couldn't get the refrag, even though the spray was so lackluster from Lucas. And then Q in the brother, he steps up on the AWP, 3 very fast flicks. As soon as he gets that second kill and bomb's not planted, they were already in trouble with the HP, as it were.
5 on 2.
Beautiful op shots.
Yeah. 5 on 2 situation though, that's
and watch this. This is why it's nice the booths face each other. He's taunting them, not that they'll have noticed.
That's true, that's a very good point. Oh, I think we have not a force buy here, but Big down to the upgraded pistol, some armor as well. Need to start converting those rounds if they want to stand a chance here in the quarterfinals. 7-3 the overall scoreline. Single orb this time for Immortals, but Bolts, he wants to challenge towards drop down, and challenge he will as he finds the first kill. Can't get the doubles, Legia takes him down with that UMP.
No op shot success from Henny this time, though, as Legia is able to pick up the M4. He also, having picked it up, deterred the push coming through from Steel that was going to try and flank him out from window and get the refrag. They're content to let them have position because they don't have anything else to go along with this M4. It's just the one. Although, they can't give him that much room. They have to at least be mindful of his presence because Henny's caught completely off guard, not looking anywhere near the position as Steel's going to go back for it, and like he is placed well. As Steel's equally as careless. Could have walked into it, but this could be big. This could be a massive play as KNG wants to flank. They're not going to be looking. They hear him drop down. They line up, though, and he gets both. The M4 sprays through. Legia's got it all to do, and Steel's ready for him. Immortals are alive, absolutely alive with 7 in a row.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there. Great mid-round calls. Equal situation, 3 on 3. KNG asked for the call to get out towards drop down there. 8 times to perfection as well. They both line up, and they know he's coming as well. They can't do anything about it. The UMP, the Tech 9, trying desperately to defend, sticking behind each other, but didn't work out. KNG finds them. Here it is, the replay. As both players go down. It's 8-3. That was just a partial buy there from the big side, so we won't take too much away from that, but 8-3. Immortals have won the half, and they've looked at a much better team, I have to say it right now, so far. Round number 12. More power for Kiev once again. And fast play from Legier. Wants to be challenged in that area. Has been hitting some decent shots. He's actually top fragging right now for Big, which is great for him, but not so great for the likes of Big. We need Tabson to be up the top there. He needs to be delivering a world-class performance to make it to the semi-finals here.
Extinguish the flames with smoke. Shot comes through, but it won't land. He still already has the one to take the damage early. Backs off. And he again goes to KFC, and Steel on Alley can actually, rather than playing window or rock, be more effective to support Bolts, but they're comfortable leaving him there, and he's going to rotate back around because they don't have any further information. Bombs down toward B tunnels. Could go either direction with 44 seconds to work with, or thereabout. I'll anticipate A with a split from Tabson. Not a lot of utility left. Tons of kits for the post plant, but not a lot of utility left on the Immortals side. Incendiary, 2 flashes and a nade, and that is it. And the double op late as well, which is going to be KNG inside of the site under pressure. Keeve can't open the first one on the T side of the op. Nex is able to get Lucas. Tamsin's down though. That's the rotations wide open. Good shot, KNG. He wins the first op exchange. He stays on the side as well. In 6 seconds, bombs down, round's over. 4 seconds, it's done. KNG's just got to stay alive. He doesn't even need to worry though, because what a no-scope. His teammate was already heading for the hills. He'll lose his op, but the round is done. Bolt's just staying alive, secures it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Big looking a little bit out of the depth right now. Immortals, great side, hitting the shots that are required. KNG's getting fired up as well. Those flick shots are really tasty to watch. Manages to take 2 of those down. Like I said, he's had to survive there. Got a little no-scope to finish things off as well. He did go down eventually, but it's going to be God beat with no money to the next round. He saves the AWP and armor, so that's fine. But now we have another tactical pause. This is not the Big we've seen throughout the tournament. Only saw them in Inferno, you have to remember that, but Immortals just looked like the better team right now.
It's not the tactical
prowess
we're looking to see. It's slow, it's defaults. They're getting into drop, and then they're just repetitively doing the same thing.
They're getting to the bomb sites. That's what you need to do. Having Mumbers making it to the bomb site itself is just the final hurdle of getting that 1 kill and getting the bomb down. They're wasting a lot of time with that slow play style we just mentioned, but it seems like it's not really working out from the clutches. The players aren't stepping up in those particular situations, but KNG, he certainly is. What was this shot? Looking at the other side, and boom! Takes him down. That was really, really nice. Round number 13. We do have a force buy here, I think.
Well, I was going to say, we do. You're right to call that. Keeve back on the AWP, because obviously they pick up what they can and force anything they can into this 9-3. We've only really seen 1 wall of smoke toward B. Nothing overly creative from Big, which I was expecting, I have to say.
They've got tactics on this map. They've got great executions towards the A side, especially as we were describing, but you're right, we haven't really seen too much of it as of yet. It's still early days. They can get 9-6 here, they're absolutely fine, but that does have to happen, I'd say. I don't think 12-3 is going to be good enough to carry them through here on Cobblestone. Tabson down to a Tech 9. Arguably want him on the AK-47, considering how powerful he can be. Keeve with the AWP, this time making his way towards drop down, trying to find the first pick, but up against double AWPs once again. This time though, it's Bolts, not the AWPers on the platform, and Henny will just be trying to bait him in, take that aggro away. And it's Big once again, setting up towards that B side.
The shots from Godby, obviously mask. Keeve going in, quick bounce nade. One that's close. It's AWP in the drop. He's tagged them both. He's absolutely right in his positioning. They'll follow it up as Legia gets Bolts, but Steel still stays alive at the rock, and he'll actually put himself all the way over toward KFC. A single nade would take him down. Watch to Henny. Smoke out. He's rotated around it. Finds Legia on the first one. Can't follow it again to Nex. A chance to work with a man advantage and the HP of Steel, but Steel goes overlooked. Timing everything. Timing off for Lucas as he looks the wrong way. KNG gets back in position. Another 2 plays from the secondary op as Keeve goes back out. He can't get around the corner. It's shut down. 10-3.
Opening kills once again there for Big. It was looking so promising. It's that final hurdle. This time KNG, their nemesis once more. 3 kills to finish things off. Steel was still a chicken coop as well. I thought he was about to shut the round down. He gets 1 kill at the platform position. The thing was so key though, before Henny died, right? He dropped the incendiary at that drop down entrance, meaning the T side was segregated. They had presence at the platform, but they couldn't pinch at the very same time. Just some great utility usage from Immortals. This is looking like a very strong performance from them. It's clinical. They're hitting the shots that are required. And it seems like Big might be out of their depth, I'm not sure. But the executions, the final plays, just don't seem on point right now. They're not hitting the shots required to really justify this really slow pace. Going to round number 14, I don't think this was a force buy. Obviously, Maxim lost bonus, lost so many rounds in a row here. Current scoreline 10-3 after winning the second round force buy and getting 3 in a row. It's just dropped off completely. They've got Tech 9s, Deagles, UMPs, left themselves about 2K so they can buy next round. Another execution play, smokes are lined up. No fakes here, sticking together, going towards middle with 2 players and 3 along A. 10-5 still fine. They can pick this round up. It's to be a struggle, but it's enough to work with.
Tabson with only 7 kills leads the way on the Tech 9. AWP spots the head. Good shot, KNG.
It's a monster, isn't he?
Good God, man. He's stepping up when needed. Lucas is able to quickly cover off the push toward the APC. Even though Nex gets a trade back on Steel. He swings out, handles that as well, and they've got an inkling as to where Legia is. They won't exactly know. Oh, yes, why not? Why not, Legia? Give me something to cheer about. Oh, he's actually gotten the site aggressive. He's stepped down to a 1 versus 2, and he knows there was one more rotating over. He could have easily caught Bolts off.
Yeah, decent attempt from Lugia, I have to say, but all for naught. Gets a knife kill, means he gets more muddy as the next round can drop the orb. That's actually quite substantial for him. 11-3 though, cannot convert these rounds. Immortals looking very, very good. KNG especially, what has he had for breakfast today? That was absolutely unbelievable, the shots he's hitting. Look at it, every shot just very calm. And we were told how good he can be at AWPing when he first joined his team, but we thought, they've already got a Henny, why do you need another AWPer? But it's paying off in spades right now. We're going to round number 15. Double AWP setup still out, of course. Big need this round, I say that they absolutely have to convert this one. Decent damage inflicted. Lucas might go down here as he sits in the flames, goes down to 18 HP.
Nade thrown bounced off. KNG's right, he knows they're below the ramp, so he adjusts accordingly. No shot landing. He's forced back again through danger. Lucas is going to try and sneak out behind them. He may do it as well. He's caught them off.
So good.
As Kiev rotate backs over and then gets away with it as well. No trade potential. Problem is he does, and he's well aware of it obviously with the Molotov down, but he's got nowhere to go. He's already lost his teammate that was supporting him. If he buys space though, he could potentially bait back in. Not going to, he's just drawing time. He's being a nuisance at this point.
Yeah, that is focusing on him as well. They have to find this frag. Lucas gets another one, the round's over, but they finally take him down. It's Tapson to get it. A minute to work. There won't be time in this round out at least. Still though, headshots next through the smoke. Bombs in that position as well. They don't really have much to work with here, but that certainly helps. God B finds KNG.
God B. Steel gets one. Starts off the shutdown. And they've got it all again. 12-3 Immortals.
Yeah.
This look, again, Immortals win pistol. They get ecoed immediately after. It looks like Big's going to start to run away with it, and then non-stop. Non-stop. Speaking of non-stop, you've got all kinds of stats that never really stop flowing in. If you head to boomio.com, you can check everything out from the majors, see tips from all sorts of pro players that have been on the stage this weekend already.
Well, first half looking very good for Immortals, I have to say. 12-3 on the CT side. For me, that's just a win. That's a lock-in right now. This would be an absolute catastrophe if they gave this map away, but we'll see. Big, known to be a decent cobble side, and they'll be needing the pistol here. That goes without saying at this point. 4 sets of armor for them, a couple of flashbangs to work with. No upgraded pistols on T side, there's 4 sets of armor for them and 1 smoke. That smoke used commonly towards connector, A or B side, depending on where you want to go. And well, it seems like to split towards the A side through the connector itself, or you just go hard in towards B and try and overwhelm the CTs with firepower here. Looks like it's the latter. Got B looking to challenge and taps him. Looks off the head to KNG there.
Needs to do more than that though, because he's lost his teammate. Steel's got Gia. He's getting overwhelmed. He's trying to pull Next back in, and Next getting back in at the right time. They'll coordinate for a crossfire, but Henny still finds a kill, and it's 2 versus 2. The advantage, though, too big, not only with the kill, but the fact that the bomb is down inside of the site, a site which Steel is flanking. They're gonna have no idea where he is. They're starting to anticipate it, though, based on the fact that CTs have gone all the way back through B long. There's nowhere else he really could be. Stare him down in tandem, peek together, watch the headshot potential as Steel is bleeding out down to 28. Clock to get close. Next confirms that he's there with a re-peek. They won't get over aggressive, there's no need.
Yeah, they don't have to give anything away here. Make him plan, make him get to the bomb site itself. He's low HP, you've done the damage. Stick together, like you said, give him 2 targets. Still, can't do anything with it. Keith gets the final headshot, a must-need risk around there for Big. 12-4. Managed to keep himself alive here somewhat as we get into round number 2. Don't necessarily have to force play on the T side, they probably will. But this sort of lead could just focus on the AKs going forward. But they're going to bring out the Tech 9s, the Deagles, some armor as well. Very good on the pistols for sure. So Big not out of the woods just yet, and they're hardly firing on all cylinders. It's not the Big you kind of expect to get to a semi-final at this stage. They have looked amazing for the tournament, 3-0 against some huge names, but it doesn't seem to be the same brand of Counter-Strike at the moment. 3 UMPs, an MP9, and a Famous for Tapson.
Steel down quick, gotta be ready. I think he's identified the fact that there was more than just the 1 player dropping in, but moves himself accordingly. The other player mentioned, none other than Henny. He takes quite a bit of nade damage, throws the bomb back up as well. He nearly walked off the ledge inside of the smoke to get it. Henny committed. All the rotations have gone toward the B side. Lucas seeing if anyone's going to push all the way through.
Well, here's the 5-on-4. The hard work has been done for the CTs here. Now, just hold the crossfires, wait for the final commitment to come in. Immortals should be taken down 1 by 1. Time ticking away. Less than a minute now as Henny gets towards the drop down. He's got a flashbang though. Should find Godby here. Godby is decent at drop down, knows what he has to do. He might overlook this corner though. That could be an absolute shame, but the timing somehow for Henny has the knife out at that point as we both so in the back in the round of the headshot taps him.
KNG wants to get through. Lucas was watching flank, no one to worry about in that position yet. Instead, it's in the sight. MP9 Kyiv, good firing range. Position as he gets closer and closer. Godby will get the kill in the end. He swaps to the pistol to get Lucas because he's depleted his ammunition in the SMG, but Godby gets the kill, the final kill. 12-5, not done by any means.
Definitely not. Now they've got the pistol in that second round conversion as well. Let's take it round by round. It's not done yet. Round number 18. 2K per play on the Immortals side. No bomb down in that previous round. So this will be the full eco. Maybe just a B rush. It can be a little bit frustrating and hold up for the whole round and see if any CTs make a mistake, but I'd expect Immortals to go for a straight up rush. Maybe down towards middle and try and trade a frag. Kyiv and Legear go towards long A. It looks like they will be challenged indeed. As we head towards top and middle. Emphatic approach here from Immortals, it seems, as they go straight towards long A. Kyiv waiting towards middle as well. He will be tested here. Can't give much away. Oh, Legear, the timing's good for about him.
Misbounce on the nade, actually goes closer to where they walked in from. Still pushing. Bolt is able to get Kyiv, so double trade. And a site that's occupied until rotations. Tapson's just barely there in the nick of time before they get to stables, and that may do it because bomb down inside the site. Henny. It's concluded by Nex. 12-6, they have it.
Yeah, got a bit dicey there, I have to say. The Glocks is a little bit unlucky with the timings, though. Legear pulling his nade out just as they finally committed. He gives away UMP, but that's about it. Tapson to save the day, joined by Nex as well. First full buy for Immortals. No AWP there. 5 AK-47s, opting for more utility with the flashbangs as well. Not much in terms of the Molotovs. I don't think there's a single one there. It can be quite tricky in a map like Cobblestone to flush out positions like the upper platform, the tight corners, hobbit hole, the tree, for example. It's very difficult to actually get into sight while having that utility to work with. All for Kyiv, of course. Let's see if he can start hitting some big shots here. He's on 10 for 13 right now, but it's Lucas going in first, but Tapson taking him down.
Slows the play as Bolts backs off. Oh, good nades. Pucker up and give it a kiss. Rotten Apple takes him down to 56, and they'll find Bolts. Good push from Tapson. So no openings for Immortals now that they're on the AK-47 steal. He seems to be the one to want to go after drop. Does land a nade directly on top of Godby. And then he'll follow up by dropping himself into the position, but it's being fortified and guarded. Tapson as well is going to be boosted up on the tree. And he'll stay, yeah, exactly, at an angle behind it by which he can see E-Box because they know Steel's in there.
Bad advantage still for the big side here. 5-on-3 to be exact, but here comes the final play. We took that tree position, could be problematic, but for Steel, it seems absolutely fine for him. They bring a kill back. 4-on-3 now.
Next. Does hold off, watches back, he's stuck against the wall though, nowhere to go. KNG therefore is able to put him down once they have the information. Spraying in, he finds Godby, they have opened something up late. Bomb's gonna go in, late Molotov as well means they won't be able to deny it just yet. But a 2 versus 2 make it down to 1, they've gotta go back for the bomb, and he burns alive. The Molotov did just barely get in position.
Yeah, great play from Big. They've had a lot of advantages in this game that they've thrown away. 5-on-2s, 5-on-3s, but that one, they convert. It started to fall apart slightly, with Steel finding the opening kill towards that tree position. But finally, it's looking decent for Big now, winning the first gun around here. The journey begins. It's going to be 4-0 in the second half. Looking decent. Could they bounce back? It's certainly a possibility, as there's another eco here for Immortals. The gap in the scoreline is starting to close. Slowly but surely, this could happen, Map. Could have a real game on our hands now.
Deagle toward long, Lucas going against Legear. Legear backs off. Oh, the nade is perfectly positioned. Tapson gets a kill. Legear realizes he's got company on either side. Identifies correctly which wants to arrive first and gets the kill accordingly. Smoked off as he is though. They want to try and rush directly by and get toward the A site, but Kyiv waits for the AWP. Should be a clean sweep, and it is. So Big fighting back valiantly. 5 in a row, they bring it to just a 4-round lead for Immortals, who have yet to score or put one on the board, if you will, on the T side.
But this is the first time they've got the AWP out. This is the real test for them. They were so hot with those weapons on the CT side, especially KNG. My God, some of the shots he was hitting were unbelievable. Henny, though, on the AWP, like he said, he did have some decent rounds, but slow to get into this game. He still hasn't hit double digits on 8 kills, 16 deaths. So sure, he's had some high impact frags, but hasn't exactly been carrying the AWP. If I'm Immortals right now, I'm giving that off to KNG all day long.
Absolutely. On this map, 21 kills, he leads the way, steals behind on 19. But much more of a team game in terms of kill distribution on the big side. Again, some pressure toward long early A, that is. B has pressure at long from the CTs rather than anyone on the terrorist side, on Immortals side. Bomb down inside of the tunnels as well. Play the pick. 3 players at long could flash each other around the corner. Lucas has gone quite far up and close to the corner, but still just waiting for his time to go. Flashes land, no one in position at the corner. Legia instead at the hay bales to get winded up. He's able to find a single kill. Henny on the AWP is going to try and slow peek, but thankfully backs away and the smoke comes down. He's so low, Legia. He can't find the shot because the reason I was saying it was almost to the benefit of him that the smoke came in is that they were bringing out the AWP in Tabson's hand to try and get a shot, or rather, excuse me, the M4 in Tabson's hand to try and get a secondary shot. Down drop, meanwhile, Bomb is in position, blinded up. Goffy hears them, but doesn't have the vision. Good spot from Nex. Drops the bomb inside, finds the gap, finds KNG.
Yeah, it's really solid CT side from Big so far. Not done in this quarterfinal just yet, it seems. Have a timeout for Immortals here. It's towards long A. Legia's looking very strong there, confident almost. He's by himself, doesn't have anyone else to play off there. Takes the jewel, drops the smoke as well. Completely isolates any remaining T's on the other side. He falls back. And it's up to God B to defend the drop-down area. He can't do it, but his teammate Nex, as we said, showing some fantastic form in this tournament, continues it ahead. 4 seconds remaining. Henny has to save the AWP. He's above drop-down right now. Looks like he'll be fine to save the weapon. But Immortals, generally speaking, haven't really impressed me at all here in the second half. 12-9 as we start to close the gap. Immortals timeout does come in indeed, tactical for sure. Their first one. This shows you how kind of the difference in the first half and the second. They haven't had to use a pause whatsoever at this point, but now the Sun is looking a little bit uncomfortable and working out what's to play here. Henny with the saved AWP. He's got armor, got a smoke to work with, and no money from not surviving that previous round. His teammates just the maximum loss bonus here, $3,400 per player. A little bit more than that on top, so AKs and armor can come out, but 3 smokes in total, 2 flashbangs. Doesn't look amazing for them. In terms of the predictions here, the pick and challenge is going to be 68% in favor of Big. I guess it's about right, depending where you're from, but...
It doesn't surprise me, actually, just based on how they did in the group stages.
Sure.
I think there was a bit of a bandwagon behind that as well, so...
Yeah, that's fair enough. Round number 22 then. All power for Henny once again, who hasn't been playing amazingly. Hasn't really opened up the maps that much in this T side. Goes towards the upper platform up against Kiev, who's been pretty decent. And he's towards long A this time. Legia changing his position. This is a heavy B focus. So this Kiev, the only player on the A side of the map. Legia towards drop down, backing up got B as well, where he's had some aggro, a bit of some issues there. So that's why it's good, right? To do it right now after you've shown Legia on that side of the map and having taps in there as well, just to shift them over, a completely different setup to try and counter what Immortals are doing. Oof, that nade.
That's so good again. So well timed. Again, Molotov damage is actually extending a lot further than I think Lucas was ready for.
Yeah,
That almost killed him immediately. He goes down to 19 HP.
Well. No kill coming in just yet, but as good as. Luke is down to 19, still at 55. Kiev comfortable with play by himself, still towards top middle. They haven't really gained anything at the B side. No one in drop down, and it's getting bullied by the utility at this point. Big looking for double digits, and that's when things get quite scary indeed for the Immortals side. Could they actually throw the 12-3 lead?
Back over toward Kiev. Bomb toward A. Legia's going to have to be hot on his heels to rotate. A timely rotation. Good shot, Kiev, therefore, to start it off.
Yeah.
As KNG wants to slip in undetected towards Stables. He's at least got close to cannons, but wrapping around is the next challenge as Kiev goes up. Can't quite get the shot, knows that there's 2 there, therefore sits back and controls the tight angle. So close again. No chance on the third. KNG gets the shot immediately after. Boltons goes close, finds it. And tear down the Berlin wall because they've got a hole inside of the defense to plant the ball. Finally on A, that Bolts can cover off. Taps in, and Henny finds the rotation of Goffy. The first for Immortals on a T side.
It was looking so good for Big at that stage. Got the opening pick, and I was about to say, Keith, with that one pick and alone on the 8 side, buys him time. He gets towards the bomb side there, and a similar sort of play we saw from KNG, holding the tight angle on the bomb side itself, trying to hit the flick shots, jumping around. If he hits one of those shots, they'd probably win that round, but his bolt's given a little bit too much to work with that, as his teammates find frags as well. They take down the players towards the balcony position. That's the first round here in the second half for Immortals. 6-1 is the scoreline. They cannot find double digits just yet, but they've got a ton of money to work with here. I'd say maybe a half buy next if they lose this round, but still very well equipped at number 23. Nothing too aggressive here from either side. Kyiv this time seems like he actually wants to push down long A. He was at middle before. Wants to try and find the first pick. That long corridor. It's going to be the B side that Immortals are focusing on for now, though. Looking to potentially execute here. Flashbang's going over. Maybe he's bleeding out some CT utility on the other side. We'll drop a smoke as well. This will be an A split from what I can see right now, Map.
Molotovs are there. Nate, again, well timed. That is huge. Because it's on a reset round. They've already got damage and they'll just fall into the rain. God B! He is the God B as he shuts down drop one more time. Henny in a 1 versus 5. Apparently they didn't bring enough to tear down a wall this high.
Oh, it's so beautiful. The nade, everything, the timings, the perfection as well. Sitting in front of the smoke, the 3-man spray down. Immortals have no idea what has happened to them. It's big, a really successful round there. Lost the previous, and now they get the double digits. Everyone surviving as well. God B on an absolute rampage. Immortals can do nothing about it. They were setting up for that A split. They tried to get the drop down control where God B's have been allowing them to have it. He's been sitting outside the window, but this time he's in there. He's fighting, he's scrapping. And they managed to get all 3 kills. Another timeout for Immortals. They're not looking comfortable here. And that's a full reset round as well, Map. The fact is they get no bomb down here. And let's look at it from God B. Just spotting them as they drop into the smoke, doing the damage, the full commitment with the 30 bullets. You love to see it. God B stepping up now. This is looking really bleak for them in the first half, but they found their footing now in the second. They can get a couple of rounds out of this. Still going to be really weak money for Immortals next round, even if they take a full eco in round number 24.
I'd love to see a stat for how much nade damage has been done
That's
in the
so
opening sectors of the round. That's 3 in a row, if I'm not mistaken. They've hit multiple people for significant damage before they're even ready to go.
That's 1 HE in 2 rounds. It's done over 100 damage. Like that's kind of nuts. Very rare to see them being that effective, especially on a map like Cobblestone as well. Round number 24, it's going to be P250s, Deagles, no armor, no loss bonus to really have that comfort. And another nade to the face of Bolts as he goes down to 45 HP. They're having a really rough time in that drop-down area.
Yep, good find. It's dinked up. Spark clearly covers the screen, but he finds the kill anyway. Just 3 rounds for Immortals, but it seems almost impossible at this point. Momentum firmly with Big. Rotations go back over toward A to support Legia. Kyiv's going to sit nearby because, again, Legia on 13 can't do it alone. They'll give him the AWP, in fact, so Kyiv goes on the rifle. Not something we normally see, but it has to do with the AWP positioning. He's able to get a kill as well, so justified. But they lose Kyiv. Q-taps, and indeed, we talked about it. He always shows up. He's getting there now. 17 kills. He's catching Legia.
Yeah, he is. Just when they need him as well to close this game out. 13-11, a couple of rounds to go to tie up the scoreline, and there is going to be a buy for Immortals here. As we said, though, money is going to be weak generally. 4 AKs, a Galil for bolts. In terms of utility, 2 players with any nades whatsoever, Matt. We have 3 smokes total, a Molotov. What's the play here? Do we just go fast? Do we just push straight into a bomb site? We haven't really seen that from them yet. It's been quite slow and quite default play for Immortals. They're expecting faster rounds coming in. When they can really get rolling on the teams out of Cobblestone, that's when they look their scariest. But only posting 1 round so far. It's 8-1. This could fall apart, the 12-3 lead. Surely not. A boost comes in, mixing things up once again. Every round is just so smart. Perfect calls now as God B is ready and waiting. But next, same story as they walk in towards the B side.
Next is waiting below the broken wall. Bolts is going to swing behind him, and they look over, so KNG gets it open. That gives them the front side of the site to work with. Taps and drops the bomb, but they get 2 ensuing kills, therefore have control.
Yeah, much simpler rounds this time. 1 smoke, a few flashbangs, 5 men towards the upper platform. That's what I'm saying. We haven't really seen that at all. Just simple, basic Counter-Strike, and use your star players to open up the bomb side there. Bolts, especially. Lovely shot from him. Still chimes in as well. And you can see Big, they weren't really ready for that one. It's obviously that they're waiting for the execution to come in. They want the wall of smokes to give them cues so they can throw the utility back. That's what they've been so good at so far, is deploying the HE grenades, locking players out with the utility. But that's not really an option. They just help themselves to the B side like that. That's what we need to see more of from Immortals if they're going to close this game out. But this will be two saved weapons now. Kiev and Legia holding on to the AWP and the M4A4 as well. Plenty of money available for Big. They can certainly buy around these weapons, but don't want to give anything away for free. But Legia, he's fighting back. 2 kills for him. That's not bad at all. We know the Immortals' money is low. So every kill they get at this point is definitely worth it. Even the fact he goes down, it doesn't matter. He's got a ton of money in reserve. They do not. 1 round they can pick up here, Big. They're back into this, and they shut it down. We have another pause coming through.
You mentioned Henny, by the way, early on, saying he hasn't really showed up. He got the 3 brilliant kills in the 5 versus 2 with his brother when they retook the B site, rather with denying the bomb plan. It wasn't even really a retake. It never had to come to that. But other than that round, he has been quiet, even on the CT side. Now, T side, admittedly, it's not like he can do as much to get aggressive with the AWP, more so because they haven't had the money for it. But he definitely has not been in this game in the capacity that I would have expected and wanted from him.
I've been noticing this throughout the tournament as well. I kind of mentioned it in the pre-game. It's KNG who's been AWPing primarily throughout this tournament. He hasn't looked himself, Henny. He's kind of looked a little bit out of his depth in terms of the shots he's hitting, and maybe the aggression we're used to seeing from him not happening. And KNG, he looks lights out. I'm not sure why he's just not taking the main AWP role. At this point, we're in the quarterfinal and things are falling apart. It's like, Henny, you're having a nightmare. Let me just do the main AWP at this stage. And you just have to make that call. It's a difficult one to make, but sometimes it has to be done. Round number 26, 14-11. Immortals though, they're winning the previous round. There's a huge chance it can get reset. Need to be very careful. There's another fast approach. This is what we wanted to see, Matt. To stay together, group up, get in those bomb sites.
Kiev, he's not quick enough. He does find one on bolts. As he looked back down toward Evon, that means he's pushed and pressured from both sides. Good find from Tapson to get a lurk late inside a connector. Shuts down any threat coming in from Immortals. And as you mentioned, this is a chance to break the money once more, and Big would be right back into it. 14-12, potentially get a 13th round on the back of it. So slow it down. The Twins again, this time 4 versus 2. Something better than they won last time they worked together on the CT side. Have to be weary of the flank walking around. Thompson's getting closer and closer. His timing's gonna be perfect. They're spotting the open. Bomb down. Thompson gets both. And Big finds well to break the economy. They certainly have control.
This is like double eco territory for Immortals. If they have a pause left, this would be the time to work out what's the play, to be forced by into this. We've got 4 players with less than $3,000, 2 of which very low indeed, beneath 2,000 in fact. Tapson, lovely work there. It's a clean round for Big as they close the gap. Scoreline's 9-2. Immortals getting shut down. They're trying to mix things up. They're trying to go faster now. The simpler plays, as I said, we haven't really seen that from them. It was great for the previous round, but that one just there didn't really work out for them. Tapson with a nice flank, and there will not be a force by him. Into round number 27. Things looking desperate now for the Immortals side. It's Tapson, aggressive approach toward the platform, finds the first headshot. This takes down Lucas. Legia, that's not bad at all.
Wow.
He finds 2 kills as well.
5-2. In terms of manpower, it's a very good job against the anti-eco situation, or rather with the anti-eco situation. Scompy gets himself in position through the door. 1-point game after 12-3 on the most sloppy, I guess, T-side we've seen from Big throughout the course of the event. Tapson gets KNG, it's only Henny remaining. He needs kills in this P250 just to get money again. Ooh, nearly gets one. Good tag, but 3 players there waiting for his arrival. We have 1 round between them.
Who would have thought? The CT sides. Well, as I said, the money's still not going to be great. Could have been double eco territory if they wanted to be, but they've opted for the buy here. Henny, just the CZ. Bolts down to Galil. UMP for KNG. I think I've painted the picture for you. It's quite a bleak scenario for the Immortals side. They do have the utility to work with. That's what they've opted for. This will be some sort of set piece. We need to see like a wall of smoke. You can't really just rely on running into a bomb site. With this sort of weaponry, we're going to have to deploy everything we've got. Throw the kitchen sink at them and see what's available as we get into round number 28.
It's Tapson taking out KNG. Good shot. Starts it off again against guns. Down to 50 HP, but it's a decent... Oh, not again. Not again. Another massive nade. These guys are timing it to perfection. Tapson's already got the kill. He gets all the damage required. And on top of that, oh, they're blinded up. They're standing and they're burning alive. They have no idea they're sitting on top of the flames. It's a marshmallow fest. As Gompy gets back inside, and he's going to be the best to shut down Steel. They'll lose themselves inside of the smoke, but watch for the apparition to emerge. Next. He's not haunted by any ghosts to PGL. Bomb left down on top of the platform, and another shot to tie it up. Legia's got it, 14-14.
They're looking hot right now, babe. They're managing to hit all their shots, working perfectly as a unit. I wasn't believing coming to the second half from what I saw in the first, but this has been a marvelous performance for them. And you're right, tying things up at 14-14. That was the force fight for Immortals as well. They're going into round number 29 with pistols only. That's it. They're force buying in with Tech 9 CZs. And it's the nades once again, Matt. How much damage are they doing with these HE grenades over and over again? Playing out of their minds right now in the second half. The Gears after 28 frags, not known as the biggest fragger, arguably one of their weakest players, stepping up and going huge here in the quarterfinal.
Invigorated. Come under some criticism in this event for all sorts of things we all know about. But they've stepped up when it matters, and they actually are in a position to find map points against just pistols. Another nade potentially, this time Molotov. Incendiary to be specific and precise.
Yeah.
That's a nade though, and it'll do damage again to the corner. It's not quite 100 damage, but
it's still decent. We'll take it.
Yeah, still see it. I mean, the guns don't even have to do the work. You talk about M4s not being one-shot headshots. Well, okay, they are if you do 50 damage every time with a nade.
This must be the most damage of HE grenades we've seen in a single half. It's unbelievable, the work they're doing with those. It's lesser utility, really. It's the one that's not purchased the most. They're often opting for the smokes, the flashbangs, and the Molotovs. The HE is like a luxury sometimes. Oh, now the crowd are coming to life. They're believing. Here we go. Pistols, a final play towards the B bomb site. Immortals have to dig so deep this one. Lose this round, it's pretty much over. Still no money. Final flashbang, here we go.
Through the smoke, it works. They don't spot next to the archway. They'll get him back. And on top of getting him, they actually do find Gabi immediately before, so it's a 2 versus 2, but Keeve with the AWP continues to look hot in this event. And a fast flick puts map point on the board for Big First.
Nothing to work with there for the Immortals side, just pistols, armor, hoping someone can go absolutely wild with Desert Eagle, find an opening pick, just something, but they couldn't get those openings. This is a 12-3 half. They've fallen apart. It seemed like Immortals were controlling the pace of this game. They had everything going for them, that double AWP setup, the KNG performance. But this T side, it just nothing has excited me at all in that play. They haven't really had the basics down. The map control hasn't really come in. They haven't had any clutch situations really. It's all just been whitewashes, getting completely wrecked out of the drop-down room, especially by HE grenades as well. Final pause comes in. I should say 3 out of 4. You get what I'm saying. And Galil's, Deagles, Tech 9s. This is all they've got to work with here. Next, nice work to get the double frag there. And Keeve, he's stepping up once again here, this major. The coach is feeling it as well.
Gabi just ecstatic, as he should be. This team is the surprise of the tournament. What a package they've put together. 1 round to be 4-0 in total, and 1-0 in an all-important quarterfinal. Pressure on for Immortals, and not a lot to work with.
Definitely not. Galil's Wolfpack mentality towards Long A, but it's Legia. He's having the game. We'll see if he can hold them off once again. Drops the incendiary, but this time taken down by Steel.
To danger. So our first pick finally for Immortals, not something they've had and been able to secure very often.
And they upgrade one of the pistols to an AK now, getting stronger and stronger. A real chance to take it to overtime. Gabi though, aggressive towards Long, not the greatest position. Can get flashed off there. It's a one and done technically, but he can get backed up by his teammates.
Boost for Tabson.
I like that boost though. This is exciting me. Tabson can cause some damage here, but they are focusing primarily towards Long A. He's gonna have to turn around and back up Gabi. Good smoke though, perfect smoke.
Slows them down, partially blinded. Can Tabson see above it? That's the better question. Missed time from Gabi, and we might have overtime on the cards. Tabson's forced off of it. It's a 5 versus 3, and he's got caught out by KNG wrapping around. Of all times to not be able to shut them down. Oh, next. So close to taking out Steel. 2 HP, a WP for Keeve. But he's got to go a lot further than just 1 kill in a panic situation toward the vent because bomb planted. He has a kit, but no further utility. And he's stuck on the AWP, at least for now. If he wants another gun, he's got to get a lot closer. Wrapping around as well. Even if he goes toward the huts, Bolts finds him from the top of the ramp, and we've got extra rounds.
We're going into overtime. It didn't look likely there. Immortals struggling tremendously on this T side. Great half from Big, I have to say, but falling at the final hurdle there. Everything's reset now. That momentum does not carry through. 10K per player. MR3 will be first and 19 at the top of the scoreboards. 18-18, we duel it over again. We do not swap halves. Immortals stay on the T side here. And it seems like they're finding more success with these simpler plays, just grouping up, focusing on long A, finding that first pick as well. The gear that went down first has been an absolute monster in this second half. Round number one. CT have to be very careful with their economy here. Key with the AWP. No head out by 3 players, not really required. You're not being up against any SMGs or anything like that, but here we go. Faster play towards B. This could be a straight up rush. All 5 players towards the upper platform now. Here we go.
They're in, they're going. Next to Tapson are not in position, they're not ready for it. They've got to get the first kill, shut them down. They've got to be early on the denial of entry. So far they trade, but trade's not yet enough if it's chaotic and allows for the bomb plant, and better than trades. Henny's able to slip up and find Next, leaving Kiev again in another 1 versus 3, and Op purchased overtime MR3. He's bailing, he wants to keep it.
Has to. Yeah, has no choice there. It costs a lot of money to bring the AWP and the armor out, spacing nades as well. You're not left him much money at all. He's actually only got $3,900. 1,400 on top of that next round, so has to save this AWP.
Great call to change the pace.
Why
we
not?
Didn't see that from them all.
You've got these star players, these raw aimers. Pound for pound, Immortals do out-frag Big pretty much every single time. And why are you not just focusing on that? Say as a 5-man unit, get that rush going on. Instead of going to the defaults and getting wrecked by HE grenades, this is get in there. Let's start hitting some shots. Let's let our star players have some movement. And it's Henny who gets 2 frags into the round, and B-Rush is all the call they need, apparently. I like that a lot. First time they've done it, it works out for them. They go down 1-0 here. Nice way to kick off overtime. Great call. Just a first banner, guys. What you're usually aiming for, the rule book, the strategy book, whatever you want to call it, goes out the window in overtime. You're trying to think back, what worked there? How can we adapt what we've currently been doing? Why are we getting shut down across the board? And now, to stick together, I like it. Simple, but effective. Round number 2 now. Still with the AWP, of course, after saving in the previous. Money, though, if you lose this round, you're left with pretty much nothing. You get UMPs and pistols. And that 2-0 comes in, you need to be very careful. Manage the economy well. If you have to save, sometimes it's better just to do that and think about the future instead of trying to have the heroic plays.
Close proximity to the doorway. Yep, he wants them to walk in, and they do. Thank you very much. I'll take charity at any point in time, as Lucas is at least able to trade it back by getting Gobby toward drop. Kiev double scoped, wants the first shot. Jump across, forget it, he'll flick. He will flick indeed. Oh, nearly gets it. Molotov will lock down the position, flash up over the wall. He wanted to repeat it, but got blinded himself. Good creative way of doing it. Bit optimistic in how much distance he has to travel. Watch that smoke. And watch the boost on the reverse side, because they've just put KNG up with the op. Kiev's got to be a lot more careful about how he chooses to repeat. Flank heading toward Legia. Smart reposition for the CT side of AWP and Kiev, but Next, bottom stairs, traded out immediately. Kiev, as I mentioned, repositioned, though has control, but not the speed for the second kill. And overwhelmed is Tapson behind the rock. Where is this coming from? Immortals finally getting space, but bombed it. Oh, missed shot. Legia had to hit that early. And bring it to the one-on-one as soon as the bomb was planted. Now the element of surprise gone, but still he's able to push through. Bolts is not ready for it. Lucas comes back through toward window. Legia backs it off. He's got a smoke. He's got the kit. But if he goes immediately on top of it, Lucas is going to play aggressive so they can't hold it. He might have gotten away with it, but there's no sense chancing it if he still has time. Molotov close side. This is going to be the hold, because it's going to force him back. He's got to go wide side around. He's protected. What a brilliant Molotov! What a brilliant Molotov to force out the time and position.
Very calm. Great work there from Legia. Knew exactly what he had to do there. I was about to say, as we were building that one up, he's got a smoke and an incendiary. He can lock off 2 key points of the map there. Wherever he's going to be struggling. I thought he dropped the incendiary towards drop down, then goes to that defuse. That's the only place he can be, is connector or the drop down room. He could be doing to the full defuse of that plant as well. Just incendiary towards that area. He's done it, but like you said, even better perhaps. Covering himself with the smoke. Little smile there perhaps. He knows he's enjoyed himself. He's having one hell of a game. Probably the best performance I've seen from Legia in quite some time. Rush middle. It's up to Immortals now to dictate the pace.
That nade again!
It's happening!
It's absolutely slaughtering them as KNG at least trades it this time, but it gives Lugia again a chance. Smoke down, he's got to push through it because he's given up A, and oh, he's being watched, but not anymore. Patience not anymore either because Goppy's got the kill, but he's still in a good position. KNG knows it, he's gonna go hunting for him, spots the head, but can't get the shot. A big whiff. Leaves them locked on twos, HP relatively even. But advantage to the bomb plant. Lugia tagged through the door. Wasn't ready for bolts to appear. AWP for Kiev to win the first overtime half. He's spotted in the open. His steal goes high. Immortals get two. Big only get one.
Immortals do get two after having a shocking regulation team side. They've seemed to have adjusted themselves, kept it simple. Let's go for these rushes. We arrive at nade once again in middle. How much damage can be inflicted with the HGs here? It's unbelievable. And this problem is they're trying to stick together. They're trying to keep it simple, and that's going to be a massive issue. You get an HG thrown at you. It lands in the massive group of the players there, but still they recover. And the clutch not working out with a decent flank from Lugia as well. And he stepped up tremendously for the big side, but wasn't quite enough. They switch over to the T side now, where they struggled as well. Remember, it's 12-3 in the first half. Do they have a similar mentality? They start grouping up and saying, let's stick as our 5-man unit. We're getting wrecked by the double AWP setup, and that's what's coming out once again. Immortals, KNG especially. He was quiet in the second half. I'm expecting some huge things now.
He's getting cheeky with a T-sided AWP. Not where he's had most of his success, to be fair. How does it always seem to go that when T-sides are the struggle in the regular 30 rounds, you hit overtime, and suddenly they appear with a change in pace and urgency? Watch out for Godby to check corner. If tactics weren't a thing the first time they played on the T-half, they might need to be now. Slow pace again. KNG's watching down to bottom of middle. Henny on the other op is towards Chicken Coop, and they're still not deciding on the big side where they want to go. Very patient from Immortals.
Indeed.
Not buying into any of the slow play from Big, not going for information that could cost them.
One more round from that point. You don't want to give anything away here, especially on that CT side. You don't want that money to start dwindling away. It will be an A-sided attack. Taps him once again, a drop down. His four teammates waiting to execute, but they did run out of time. They weren't managing that correctly in regulation. It's going to be steal to find Taps. That's a key frag. Here comes the final commitment there, but Lugia hitting shots once again.
Good opener. They know Lucas is toward the barrels. The problem is to get far enough inside of the site to get him. They have to cover off the balcony. They've done that. And down they both go. Bomb play follows immediately as Steel goes down to next. Very good entry, and it wasn't strategical. It wasn't tactical. It was just straight up. Entry kills and leaves Henny. And versus 3, it was 4. Chances of anything beyond that, pretty slim. Doesn't have a kid either, so backs away. 17-17.
Indeed. It's 18 required for MAP1, but Big do tie things up. Slow and steady as usual, but this time much better. I thought Immortals could pick that one up, considering one of the key scalps for Big went down first. Taps in that drop-down room. They go towards A, they stick together. Lugia opening things up. He managed to get 2 frags in total. He's having one hell of a performance, I have to say. Kiev with the AWP as well. You said it's a little bit cheeky in the T side, but it works out for them that round. And then a pause comes in once again. This must be the final pause now, I think. Not a lot of them. Just a chance to calm down, work out what the play is. We didn't see the best T side from either of these teams. So tactical time for Big, yes indeed, their last one. 4 out of 4. A chance for the coach to chime in, give his input. Help out Godby with this final call to get them to MAP1 potentially here. Double up setup. Not sure it's a possibility right now. We'll have a look. Single. So yeah, Henny, he gets the only AWP here. And again, I have to say, Matt, why is KNG not AWPing on CT side of Cobblestone?
He's been much better, to be fair.
He's got 28 frags, Henny 13. Sure, he is the main AWPer, but you've got to ask yourself, like, if someone's not playing that well, maybe it's time you just took the rifle and gave him the responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing to the strengths. He's certainly been one, KNG.
Like he's been anchoring the A side as well, meaning you have 4 players towards that B side of the map. I think that's cool for me, but who knows what's Henny up to this round. He's decent in the B-bomb side generally. This hasn't really arrived, apart from one very important round.
the smoke. Next, we'll jump across. This is only map 1, let's not forget. Immortals allowed Inferno to come into the pool. SK were bested on by Big. Not so sure we can still say they're the little brother anymore, Immortals. I think they're emerging from the shadow at this point. In this event, they are legends, rightfully so. Oh, look at the nades again. This time it's against Big. They're the ones caught off by a really well-thrown double Molotov play. Tabson and Godby get trapped between it. They know they were going for that position every time in the first half. First time they played T-side. Next, we snap to his perspective, but it's Legia instead that finds Bolts on the other side. Steal, he slips behind them, but will that go undetected or not? Tabson's ready for it. Big, for their second time, might find the first map point of overtime, their second in the game, that is. Lucas is the last alive. Nade thinks about it. It would have been a kill. He'll continue to try and do what he can. Pretty much has to at this point in time, and through the edge of the door they spot him. Godby's able to capitalize. 18-17 for Big.
Once again, it's the gear opening things up towards that B side. That's a huge weight off their shoulders, guaranteeing second overtime if required, and the money's going to be broken for Immortals. We described it in the build-up to this overtime. Go 2-0 down. They're then left with pistols, and saved M4 from what I can see. KNG had some more residual cash, so he's got the M4A4 out. So 3 smokes, some flashbangs, 4 pistols, and a riot ball. If ever there was a chance to close it out for Big, this would be it. One round will do it. Immortals to dig deep once again. Can they find anything with the Desert Eagles and the CZs? Here we go, it's building up once more.
Kiev watches wide side of the smoke as they continue to approach. Legia will be the leader. The hard charge. Tabson's gonna go solo this time. Down drop, knife out, they jump in. Bolts is ready, Bolts goes undetected. Bolts finds 2, almost to third on a 5-7. But Tabson makes his way in from the E-box, from drop. And bomb down, they have the advantage. Lucas with the deagle only to work with no kits. KNG down, rifle gone. The comeback might in fact be complete from the German side, even if they needed extra rounds. From 12-3 down, Lucas will walk in, it's all up to him, and they're ready for it. They'll spot him out as he goes around the corner, everyone faces, woo! Lucky shot to find Tabson as he re-peeks back out. AWP has to back off from Kiev. If he finds the shot on Godby, don't rule him out. Ooh. He's got it as well. He's only got 12 HP, but he's lost track of where Kiev is. The shot, and he's on it. Kiev, why is he not peeking? Goes for the knife. Oh my goodness! You talk about config, BM. Take that and stick it. He throws it back in Immortal space. A risky play, but Big are magnificent in map 1.
I'm not a fan of this decision with a knife, man, but it works. Just about. 12-3 down, the Big fans are loving it. They've got their own section here. What a comeback. The job's not done yet, but that was an amazing performance from them. Legia especially, 35 kills from him. Known to be one of the weaker fraggers in the team. He's stepping up in this major and delivering a world-class performance.
What a troll.
Yeah, Keith.
Goes for the knife to close it in overtime.
Lucas did a good job there at the deagle, to be fair, to bring it down to the 1v1. If he full defuses that, there's a chance. And you missed the knife or misjudged the placement, the angle, maybe that falls apart. But what a way to finish it. I think we had 3 knives in total in that map.
Had one early on. He's confident in his air mechanics, his air acceleration. Both times he strafes toward them, but that is just an incredible comeback. Big looked like they were lost tactically. First time we've seen them in this tournament not really having a plan that was going well on a T side. And Immortals just fall flat and get shut down, I have to say, with similar styles. They try and go with default tactics and could not penetrate the defense.
I knew this was going to be a good series. I thought it was, especially the pool coming up as well.
It's got me super sweaty,
I was about to say, Matt, I didn't want to address it. Like, you do like you're enjoying yourself, you're getting stuck in. But maybe we should give you...
Literally in the shirt, it's a little sticky.
We'll give you a break and we'll go over to the panel. Paul, what are you saying?
Well, there's blood, sweat and tears, and that's just in the commentary box. What a game from Big and Immortals. Game 1 turns around on a 12-3 first half loss. Terrible T-side from Big, and yet they come back to win it on the knife. We're back with Moses and Natu once more. Jason, I saw your face at the end of that game. You were kind of like... What did I just watch?
Yeah, it was wild, wasn't it?
It was wild.
I actually will amend one thing. I don't think it was a terrible side out of Big on the T side. In terms of, yes, they only get 3 rounds. You obviously want way more than that. But the crazy thing is they're getting into the site, right? The tactics are working. They're getting towards those end games. They just got out-clutched, essentially, by Immortals. When it got down to those 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, it was the Alps ringing true. It was KNG being a monster. It was Steel on that B bomb side. I mean, all the plays in that first half went in the favor of the Immortals guys. And then when you get to the second half, here's where we have an atrocious T side. Here's where it took them like 10 rounds to figure out that running into 3 grenades and drop zone every single round isn't a winning strategy. Like just taking
I did ask the question. To be fair, I did ask the question.
Yeah.
How many rounds would it take before they figured out that they can't get into drop? And it was 10. Yeah,
and I said if I'm Immortals, my game plan is go at drop zone, go at God B, see what you can get out of there. Probably why I'm not a coach. They ate so many grenades and just never adjusted from it.
Also, there was a couple of times where they threw grenades in, did 50, 60 damage to a couple of people.